We finally did it. We built a garage. It feels like it's been several years in the making. With this place, we can get our cars out of the cow pasture and keep them protected. Along with it, we added some amazing tools, equipment, and just a little bit of organization. All this should go a very long way to keep some of the kind of nice cars a little bit nicer and give them a place to call home. When we put this place together, we did it in the same way we like to try and fix our cars, and that is the simplest way possible. It's a rectangular building. We've got concrete floors. There's no fancy epoxies or paints, just a light sealer to help protect from like chemical spills. And well, it's a wood frame. It keeps everything simple, practical, while giving us the ability to expand or modify this place as time goes along. So just look at it as like another one of my unfinished projects. For the most part, everything went together really well. It wasn't until we got to the end of the garage build that we ran into a decent sized problem. It turns out that when you build a shop in the middle of nowhere, getting power to it can be quite the challenge. And after a bunch of phone calls and consultations with the power company, they let me know they could do it, but it wasn't exactly gonna be easy, and it definitely wasn't gonna be cheap. All while this was going on, I started looking into alternate power solutions, and it turns out that Anker was releasing this new battery backup system, really the first of its kind. It's a hybrid battery backup system, which is the Anker Solix E10. I told them I wanted to be first in line, and so I've been lucky enough to partner with Anker, not just to bring you this video, but to also power this entire garage for the last several months, which allowed us to really finish it out, install our lifts, and get a lot of important work done on our projects. Now, recently we featured the install process and testing of the Anker Solix E10 in my home, and today I'm going to give you an update on it. I'll show you some of the energy efficient upgrades we've made along the way. We'll put this thing through a stress test, and we're going to be picking 3 viewers to win some Troy Aikman collectibles along with a $300 voucher towards an Anker Solix E10 system. All you got to do is drop a comment down below. Now, since this is a whole home battery backup system, every single circuit in my house, including my air conditioning, stove and cooktops, and even my pool panel will run off this setup, which consists of 4 battery modules and 2 power modules. But since my shop is way simpler, all I did was borrow 1 battery and power module from my home, which is plenty enough to power the entire shop. Since the battery mounts directly to the trolley, it makes it so simple to move this around now. And remember, we're only using 1/4 of my home's whole backup system here, and that's what's powered this garage the last several months while we've been dealing with power companies and electricians trying to get power out here. Every video we've filmed with the lights on, with the lifts, putting up these heavy cars, it's all been powered by the Anker Solix E10, just 1 battery, 1 power module. I'm gonna show you how we hook it up here in a second, but it's been really difficult just getting the power out here. It's really expensive because this garage is built in the middle of nowhere. To get a power drop out here, none of it's easy. This is so simple, and I'm hoping that eventually I can get a couple more battery modules out here and really turn this into a true off-the-grid garage build. Now, to get power to everything here, we've just got a basic inlet box hooked up to our breaker. This will backfeed the entire panel, and what's really nice about this system is it comes with a slew of different plugs and hookups. This one right here is an output, and it just plugs in right here. We just connect it to our inlet box there. Now we'll just kill power. We hit the breaker here, and now we're running completely off of battery power. You can see we're using a little bit over 1 kilowatt of energy right now just powering our LED lights. Of course, you'd expect that to work just fine, but like I told you, this will run every piece of equipment in this garage. The 2-post lift is definitely the most used asset in this shop, and it works absolutely perfect. There's no bogging of the motors since batteries handle load spikes really easily, and you could see we're only using right around 3 kilowatts with all the lights still on, which is light work since the power module can deliver up to 10 kilowatts in turbo mode. We'll discuss these numbers a little more in depth later. Now, when it came time to charge back up the battery and keep the shop running, for a while I had a very long extension cable running to our adapter to keep everything topped up until we finally got the power drop out here. All right, everything's put back in place where it normally lives, and my setup is pretty much the same as last time, but to give you a quick recap of what I've got going on here, we've got our 2 power modules up top. And then we've got 4 battery modules underneath. Remember, think of your batteries like the fuel and the power modules like your engine. Each one of these is capable of putting out up to 10 kilowatts. Each battery has a 6 kilowatt hour capacity, and that's what makes this a really effective whole home battery backup. We're going to stress test this in a moment, plus the fact that it's a hybrid whole home battery backup system with the tri-fuel generator. Across the garage where the power dock is, we did change things up here a bit. You guys might have remembered that ancient water heater we had. You let me know in the comments how inefficient these things can be. And so we've ditched it for a tankless water heater. Besides this lowering our energy bill every month, well, it never runs out of hot water. It's worked great so far, but we probably wouldn't have been able to do one of these had we not had the Anker Solix E10 and this power dock, because it gives you an additional 12 circuits. And because the power dock supports a 200 amp pass-through, we've connected our home's main panel directly to it. And that's how we're able to run literally every single thing in this house off the Anker Solix E10's battery backup. And each circuit we've got hooked up inside the power dock is set up for smart backup management. So by linking our water heater to our power dock, well, we can tell it in the case of a power outage, shut off our water heater to conserve energy and really prioritize it for things like the well pump or the refrigerator. Now in the Anker app, I went and combined each of my circuits for all of our dual pole breakers which are installed, and then I labeled each one, which makes it super easy to keep track of everything. And also you have the ability to turn them on and off straight from your phone. And then you can prioritize everything. So I moved my water heater and pool pump to non-priority circuits, which will automatically turn them off when we go on battery power. And then I put the AC in a nice to have circuit, which keeps it working until our batteries go below a 50% state of charge. Now in our last video, I showed you how just one single Anker Solix E10 power module is capable of starting my home's 5-ton central AC with no soft starter or any tricks necessary. And at the same time, we ran a bunch of other appliances. So while one power unit is really capable, having two for me basically means I can just run my whole house like normal without really having to think much about it. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Has it ever happened to you where you arrive home and you go to open your garage door and, well, it doesn't open, and it really has to do with the fact that you're in the middle of a power outage and you didn't even know? Well, that's a problem that you really won't deal with anymore when you have a battery backup. And just to show you what's going on in my house right now, well, the AC's on, there's probably a few lights, maybe a television or two, and so I'm using right around 5 kilowatts of energy. If we go into off-grid mode, right now we are running solely off the Anker Solix E10, and I can show you that the garage door didn't even have an interruption in power. It works perfectly. And I can almost bet you everyone inside my house right now has no clue that we're running off grid because the power transfer is just so seamless. Anker says that this switchover happens in less than 20 milliseconds. Now, I'm not exactly sure how to time 20 milliseconds, but actually it's already happened. Let me slow it down for you a bit and we'll zoom in. Right here is the exact moment when we switch from grid power to the Anker Solix E10. Now, while we're still off grid here, let's see what these dual power units can handle. We'll start by plugging in my Tesla, and inside the house, we'll fire up both the washer and dryer. The AC's been running this entire time, so even with that, we're only using a little over 10 kilowatts, or about half of this setup's total capacity. Turning on the oven definitely bumps that number up, but there's still a bit of room left here to fire up our largest stovetop burner too. With everything here going, we're pulling about 16 kilowatts, and as you can see in the app, the system says it could keep all this going for over an hour. Now, each power module can have a stack of up to 5 batteries along with it. Remember, each battery is 6 kilowatt hours of capacity. 5 of them would total 30 kilowatt hours, which would give you a very, very long run time. But you see how well everything did with nearly every single 240 volt appliance on in my house, along with the AC running and the electric car charging. It's really incredible the amount of output this system can provide. Now, each power module is rated to give you up to 7.6 kilowatts of continuous output. So with our 2 power modules, we could demand 15.2 kilowatts all day and all night if we wanted to. But you saw we just exceeded that number, and we did so for quite a while. And the reason we're able to is because there's a turbo mode built in that will go up to 10 kilowatts for up to 90 minutes. So it just shows you the sort of headroom you gain by having 2 of these modules. That's 20 kilowatts, which I don't even know how I get there during day-to-day usage. But you got to think, like, when you're normally just using things, when the AC's up to temp in your house, you got a few lights on, maybe a television. At any given time, we're using somewhere between like 400 and 800 watts of energy, which means that this should last us at least a few days in the case of a normal outage. But in the case of an extended outage, like say during hurricane season, that's where the Smart Generator 5500 will really come into play. With this being a tri-fuel generator, we've got to select that we're going to run this off of gas. You can also run it off of natural gas or propane. When this turns on, it shows us we've only really filled the gas tank up to about 15% of its capacity. Now, last time we ran this generator on propane, which I usually find to be more convenient, but normally that can come with a trade-off since most generators make less power on propane than they do on gas. But the Smart Generator 5500 delivers the same output on both propane and gas, so you're always getting optimal power. And the app side of things is super useful. It keeps track of maintenance and sends reminders when it's time for things like an oil change, a fresh spark plug, and really every single regular service item you could think of. You can also set up an automatic run schedule so the generator turns itself on and off all automatically based on your system state of charge, and it can run an automatic exercise schedule so it's ready to go when you really need it most. The Smart Generator 5500 to me is like the magic of this entire system, since it makes a battery backup, a hybrid battery backup. It never stops as long as you got fuel. And to think about using this versus an old school gas generator, it's such a world of difference, because when you're trying to power appliances and things directly off your old school gas generator, it's always got to ramp up. They get super noisy, and a lot of times they just won't work. Whereas the Smart Generator 5500's job is just to keep the batteries topped up with energy. So for the most part, the speeds remain consistent, which means the noise level is much quieter than your standard gas generator. And of course, we love our backups of our backups. So since this has a starter built in, there's a battery. If that battery were to get drained, say that you left it on accidentally or something of that sort, you could still pull start it to make sure, again, it's ready whenever you need it. But as long as the generator just stays connected to your E10, just like your car's alternator, the E10 keeps the starter battery topped off, so you never really have to separately charge it. Now, last time I showed you our water treatment system here because the covering that was over it blew away in our last hurricanes, and obviously we need to rebuild that, but I figured if we built something with a roof big enough, we could have enough solar panels to fuel up my electric car. And so I went to the hardware store to just kind of get some posts and generic hardware to start building our structure, and I ran into this, a pergola in a box. Now I know it's probably not going to be as strong as if we built it ourselves, but first off, it was on sale because it was the season where they were trying to get rid of it. But the bigger thing that sold me on it was the fact that the roof was the perfect size for 4 solar panels, which is exactly what we were going for here. So I got this, we went and reinforced it. We basically threw all the hardware away that came with it, put in bigger lag bolts everywhere we could. It's anchored in the ground with concrete. And now what we got to do is build kind of a railing and reinforced roof structure in order to house these solar panels. Now, the roof that came with this pergola is probably its best part. In my opinion, it looks great and it came with decent steel, but since we're going to be adding a bit of heft with the solar panels, we put some pressure treated boards directly underneath where our aluminum racks will mount. And to make sure the panels would fit, we mocked everything up on the ground first. It's like this pergola was meant for these panels. 2 of them side by side are going to fit perfectly. The brackets that hold them in place make mounting everything really easy. They just slide in the rails and then clamp on the frames of each panel. And wiring up a few solar panels is really straightforward. We just daisy chained them together in series, and the positive and negative wires plug straight into one of our power modules. Now, the first day we had this all hooked up, I was constantly checking the Anker app. Now, earlier in the morning, right as the sun started coming out, we were generating basically enough power to offset what my house was consuming in real time. Now, of course, again, this was in the morning, so there's just probably a few lights on, and we had the television on. But later on, during the peak sun hours, we were generating over 1.5 kilowatt hours. Now, at this point of the day, it's really hot outside, so our central AC stays running. You can see my power usage is quite a bit higher, but in total, on this first day, we generated over 7.5 kilowatt hours with just these 4 solar panels. Since connecting everything up, I've been watching the Anker app like a TV show like every day, because it's so much fun to see how much energy we can generate with just 4 solar panels. And it's the summer months, it's also the beginning of hurricane season, so some days it stays really sunny, some days it's very overcast, but on average, we're generating about 7 kilowatt hours per day. Doing some really rough calculations, that means we're getting 20 to 25 driving miles in my Tesla Model S per day. So at 150 miles per week, all generated from the sun. That's pretty awesome. But in my last Anker video, you guys were really helpful. Down in the comments, you let me know to ditch that old water heater that I had, and also gave me some great tips on the solar pergola that we're building. So I want to hear from you again. Let me know down in the comments if you happen to see anything throughout this video that could make me be more energy efficient, or if you just had any general questions on the Anker Solix E10. Again, drop me a comment down below, and we'll be picking 3 of you guys to win some Anker Solix and Troy Aikman collaboration collectibles, along with a $300 voucher towards your very own Anker Solix E10. And all you got to do to win is drop a comment. Now, I've had my Anker Solix E10 set up for nearly 5 months now, and I've really put it to the test through many different scenarios. And it's not just the best bang for the buck battery backup on the market. In my opinion, it's the smartest and most intuitive hybrid whole home battery backup system. It's amazing how powerful this thing is, and really how you can use it in so many different applications, whether you're just in a barn in the middle of nowhere, or trying to save some money on energy costs by storing that energy from the sun, or you just want a really solid backup solution. The Anker Solix E10 can be customized in multiple different ways, and Anker has a lot of different bundles available that you can check down at the link in the description box. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching today. I'll catch you very soon.